There they are right there. That's Mark Bayles and Tyler McGinney, both in the unleaded 88 cars.
Hi, I'm Mark Bayles, owner of MAB Indy.
And I'm Tyler McGinnity, owner of McGinnity Motorworks.
I specialize in the optimization of engine performance by always recommending the use of unleaded 88 or other ethanol blended fuels.
These fuels have a higher octane rating, which allows the engine to both run more efficiently and make more horsepower. And better yet, the increased ethanol content increases octane for less cost than other standard fuel blends.
Now, not only can you have a fuel that is great for your engine, great for the environment, but also great for your wallet. To find a pump near you, go to unl88.com or by simply downloading the free Gas Buddy app.
That's it. We're done with all the commercials. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, start your engines. I say that every time. You know why, right?
No, why?
Oh, come on, where are we at?
Oh, we're at the PRI show 2021.
2021, and we're also the racing capital of the world. And before the race, what is said before the race?
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Perfect.
Super
All right.
excited.
Super excited, guys. We are here at the 2021 Performance Racing Industry Convention, which is absolutely huge, right?
Yes.
Yes. And I'm only sitting here today, again, because of you, right? And because of your companies that you represent, Indiana Corn Marketing. And first I want to introduce
Helena.
And again, guys, as you know, I'm horrible, but Helena Jette, and I've known her for years now, and I just called her Helena forever, and I have to make sure I pronunciate the names right? That's like you saying my last name is Bayles.
Right. No, it's Bayles.
It's Bayles. See?
Yeah.
So thank you very much. So she represents Indiana Corn Marketing Council, Indiana Soybean Alliance, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I can talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and have you talk about it for a little bit.
Okay, so hello everyone out there who is watching live, those that I've texted, and those that are watching on record. My name is Helena Jette. I'm the Biofuels Director for Indiana Corn Marketing Council and Indiana Soybean Alliance. What does that mean? Well, I have the privilege to represent over 40,000 corn and soybean farmers in the state of Indiana. I run the ethanol and biodiesel market development programs, which just means finding new demand, keeping those existing relationships, and furthering, expanding the use of corn throughout Indiana domestically and abroad. And so for today, which I know we're going to get into it, that's why we are here at the PRI show at the Indiana Convention Center 2021 as a booth sponsor, working with Mark Bayles and Juha from eFlex Fuel Technology. We're just the foundation of the product. Half of our corn crop, which produces over roughly 1.2 billion gallons of ethanol every year, goes into high-octane ethanol, high-octane horsepower fuel that powers these really fast cars. And so by working with the technology now that can use E85, and with Indiana Corn Marketing Council, having Mark Bayles be with Indy's garage, using our products, both the fuel and the new technology, is a huge win for Indiana corn farmers.
Yep. And I have to say this, I say it every time that I see you. And I guess goosebumps when I say I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for you and for your company. Every time I've met anybody who works in your association is extremely nice. It's kind of basic like we are in Indiana, right? They're good people. They're very supportive. They have a lot of fun. We try to put them in cars when we can and let them go down the tracks. We'll touch on a couple of events that we do together, right, and how fun that is.
Yes.
I wouldn't have made it to SEMA, with eFlex E-Flex fuel if it wasn't for the relationship that you sparked with myself and Yuha and his company. So I wouldn't have been able to do that, right? And so I think we've mentioned it many times that, the gift of being able to put people together in business relationships that can, grow into something, much more. It's a beautiful thing, right? And being able to sit here and talk about, the things that I am very passionate about, cars, and becoming a lot more passionate about racing and getting into that community and how much it ties into what you do, right? And what you support. And earlier when we talked with the E-Flex fuel guys, it's very apparent to us how important what you do is to not only to us but to the world really right now, right? I think we can both agree. We've talked about it. We don't put down using electric cars and those becoming into that, but it's such a further down the road aspect of something that we can do. And what you've done is try to make sure that you represent the farmers and their product in a way that hasn't been done before. And I mean, most people don't even understand that that's a lot of fuel that is made. I mean, that is a ton of fuel that you guys can produce.
Yeah, so for the United States, we roughly, I want to say at one point 16, 17 billion gallons for the United States. So not only is that powering domestic fuel, we also do a lot of exports to countries that use ethanol in their fuel, and then also into countries that are looking to expand the use of ethanol.
Okay.
When it comes to electric vehicles, we support consumer choice, but it's just making sure that the corn farmers and ethanol are at the table.
Yep.
On a fair playing field, and this is a great, environmentally green. It reduces up to 50% greenhouse gases, gas emissions, and it is a fuel here and now.
Yep.
For here and for the future, as you said earlier today. And with electric vehicles, that's the hot new flashy cool thing like a cell phone.
Yep.
And I think that again, if a consumer maybe living in the city can test it out, we're still many years away from the electric vehicles taking over the world. And so as one of my roles and one of my parts of my job is to make sure that our Indiana corn farmers are getting represented with a product where half their crop goes to ethanol. And so by participating in the racing segment, it makes sense. And so the parts where we decide, we're here at PRI, you were at SEMA. We recently, for those of you out there who are huge shift sector fans,
yes, Jason.
Shout out to Jason Huang and his lovely wife Caroline.
My favorite people.
Yeah, they came a few years ago and we host in Marion Municipal Airport shift sector, and it's a Indy airship attack. For those of you that don't know, it's a half-mile drag racing exotic car with Lamborghinis, Porsches.
GTR.
Do we want to take a look at one of those airstrip videos?
Yeah.
Oh, sure,
Jason, you queued that up. I know you did. So let's pop that in there.
That's a good cut.
Yeah, so that I get goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps by watching that again because I get to go out there and do that. As Jason would always call me, I'm the slow guy, but I'm not always going to be the slow guy forever. I'm working on this one next to us to make sure we can make that faster, right?
Yeah. Well, I should the plug out for the date is August 13th and 14th.
This year
is for 2022.
Okay.
Is a save the date, and that's shiftsector.co. You can filter to the Indy airstrip attack, and you can see Indiana Corn Marketing Council, Indy's Garage. You saw First Farmers Make a Trust is also a sponsor of the race, as well as American Lung Association and a handful of other corn states across the country, and including fuel equipment companies as well, like Wayne Fueling Systems, which is under the umbrella of Dover Fueling Systems. And what that is, that's all the equipment at a retail fuel station or gas station that utilizes the equipment to be able to put in those higher blends of ethanol, be within the warranty, peace of mind for the retailer. And so the backstory, that's how I got my start in this role. I worked for a large fuel retail company and did the operations management logistics for that convenience store. And so that helped kind of reinforce just learning the ins and outs of not only already coming from the food and beverage industry, but now learning more about the fuel side, and had the opportunity for about 4 years ago to got into this role. And
where we met
as
randomly.
time has just grown, Mark and I ran into each other at the Indy airstrip attack, and we're like, oh my gosh, you race in this? Well, I'm looking at kind of doing bigger and better things with highlighting this race. And the reason why we keep plugging in Shift Sector is because we bring in millions of viewers. It's we did our second year live stream broadcast this past August, and it brings in millions of reach. I think we had almost an 8 million reach this year, and we're looking to continue to grow that. Adding drone footage to any race is a must if you are out there looking to film your race. And so we're excited to make sure we definitely give a plug for that, since we're going to be coming in as a title sponsor again for 2022.
Yeah, and we'll hopefully be there again. We'll be hopefully bringing some fast cars. Tyler McGinnity, who I'll have on here in a little bit, always been a good friend for us, and he was in the commercial at the beginning of it, so always something fun for us to participate in. And again, it's one of those events that without the help, Jason has done great on his own. By no means I don't want to discredit any of that, but with your help and some of your influence, right, and what you bring to the table, it's made that event is such a great spectacle. I mean, I'm an Indiana guy. I've been here my whole life, and racing hasn't really been something that I go and I paid a lot of attention to or got excited about. But this race was it's addictive, right? It's fun. I think it's one of the only races that you can go out to and you can be a normal guy and you can register and pay, and you can take your car down a half-mile track and go as fast as you want. Now, obviously, you've got to sign a helmet. I mean, you got to have a helmet. You got to sign a waiver. There's other restrictions and things that you have to abide by. But it's one of the only races that you get to do that. And we do ride-alongs. And
well, I'd be amiss not to give a shout out to Jeffrey J. Hart, who's a producer of the live stream as well as Revolution.
Yes.
And so they have a whole team that comes out from LA, and they do an awesome job. So I'm excited to see what bigger and better things we can do on that front. Some other things, here in Indiana, I got to make sure I do mention that we do support local convenience store fuel retailers, both that are based here in Indiana and as well as over out of state. I facilitate a grant program that basically helps provide infrastructure money for fuel retailers that are looking to increase their blends of ethanol or biofuels in general at their location. And so we've got our website, I know, with indianacorn.org. If you want to look up Indiana Corn Marketing Council, you get in contact with me, Jette at indianacorn.org. If you are a retailer watching, or if you know somebody that's looking to put in higher blends at their station, we do offer one of our programs that provide, obviously making sure that things match up to what they need and what we can use for grant money to help facilitate financially those retail. So in Indiana, we've got over 350 85 fuel retailers, and we have about a little over 100 now E15, or what we call unleaded 88, which you saw in that little clip spot there. And that's basically just a 15% ethanol. Right now, 10% of ethanol is approved at almost every location in the U.S., and that helps reduce that green gas emission, greenhouse gas emission. And so, E15 is focus of getting that product going out, but we definitely support the E85 flex fuel.
Yes.
And again, that's what we're highlighting here today. At the show, at the PRI show, with e-flex fuel technology, with Tuomo and Juha from Finland. Really wanting to make sure we can work with EPA to get this product going in California. Yes. California is so important. It's our top E85 fuel sales supplier state.
Yep. Consumption too, probably, right?
Pearson Fuels is right there, giving the fuel to those folks that are looking for E85. And California is just a huge representation of the fuel market. So if we can get into there, get the rest of the states to adopt and use the technology, I think we'll be selling a lot more ethanol, which will make the corn farmers very happy.
Yes, and again, I mean, we touched upon this when I was talking with that. Again, I mean, we always talk about, in America, trying to support, something local. I mean, how much more local can you get than your local corn farmer, right? I mean, I said it earlier, it's an incredibly hard job. It's a thankless job, right? I mean, probably a large portion of the population has no clue what they get up and go through every single day to, not only provide to their family, but to feed you, right? I mean, that's the crazy part about it. We always want to make sure that people understand that that corn that they're producing was never made to feed humans. It's feed corn. So that back in the day when they were like, oh, you're eating your food, we're gonna run out of food. I mean, that's such an old, and hopefully not anybody thinks of that way. But that's why this is such an important thing, and why I've been so into it and behind it is there's so many good things about it, and you've touched upon a few of them. But the carbon footprint, the being able to support your local farmer, better for the car, better for the engine, and again, if the guys who use it on the performance side, which is why we're here today, right, and which is why you're so heavily vested into that, the racing industry now. If those guys are using it, well, you should use it too, right? I mean, and it doesn't have to be all just for performance. This is your everyday fuel that can be used every single day, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right, Mark, and glad you touched on full disclosure, I didn't grow up on a farm, but that doesn't matter. The Indiana Corn Marketing Council is so crucial because we find, and we have employees, we have an awesome staff, great leadership, to find folks who specialize in their niche. And my niche under the market development umbrella, which is one of our 4 strategic plan pillars that we have for our company through 2023, and then we'll look to update and refresh that how we see fit with the support of our corn board and directors. And it's just finding folks that may not know how to do that specialty. Like, don't put me to the test of riding a combine and doing everything for farming, but that's why they're the experts in that area, and they trust the program directors in whether you're livestock or you're in biofuels or you're in water nutrient sustainability, value creation, producer engagement. These are all facets to the organization, and we find really amazing staff and team that has that specialty to go and say, okay, this is the product. How can we get this marketed out there for increasing that demand, and then continuing to maintain and build and those existing relationships? And that's the part that I really like what I do, because I can come here to the PRI show with you, and we've got Indiana Corn Marketing Council, logo. It starts the conversation. Well, what does the corn go to? Okay, well, it goes right here to this fuel.
Yes.
And that powers this, amazing Dodge Hellcat with this beautiful like wine color, noir.
Octane red. I'll shout out to Nikki for picking it.
Oh, good job, Nikki. So beautiful. But those are the conversation pieces. That's the synergy that brings. And then we've got this amazing E85 Harley Davidson.
Mr. Cornfed.
That is Mr. Cornfed.
Yeah.
And it shows that the fuel is that diverse. It's here now. You can use it now. And I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to do what I do.
Yes.
Yes, it always seems like it's just so much fun, but there's a lot of hard work that goes into this production of a show with the team. Thank you again to your team.
You're welcome.
And Indy's Garage, and for you coming out and supporting, and we've got a pretty heavy packed calendar for 2022. So this is just the end of the year, but the beginning, because we're technically already in our fiscal year for Indiana Corn.
And so you have something coming up in February and March that we're going to try to participate in, right? Which is in New Orleans.
Yes. So upcoming 2022, I know I mentioned Shift Sector, August 13th, 14th at Marion Municipal Airport. Backing it up a bit, so February, the Renewable Fuels Association hosts the National Ethanol Conference, which is in New Orleans this year, February 21st through 23rd. If you're interested in registering to go to that, you can go to the RFA, I believe, .org website, ethanolrfa.org. Apologies to RFA, I'm getting their website wrong, but or just contact me and I can get you in touch there. And then Commodity Classic, which is just a international, just commodity grain where all forms of grain come together and work to see how they're doing their exports.
Yes.
Working with the other farmers, getting to see the holistic of what is grain, and so I think it's going to be really fun if we can reproduce what we're doing here
Yes.
to the National Ethanol Conference and then to Commodity Classic that's also in New Orleans in March. And this will give then the farmers this experience where it's not something that they see every day.
Yes.
It's there's equipment, there's just networking with the farmers and the different organizations, and I think this is going to bring all that hard work to a lot of the fruition, and
Yes.
then they can see sort of the end products and get to talk to the non-ag facing side,
Yes.
and to show that all their hard work that they put into their product is
and I have to
well.
I have to thank you for that, because I've been around your industry people, and I've met a lot of them, and they all speak very highly of you and how you bring kind of a new age feel and a new trying to step out of that realm of doing the same stuff over and over again. Not that it was wrong, it's different, and I think you've understood. And today there's different ways to approach to get the end result, right? The end result for you always tell me, I don't make ethanol, I don't do any of that, but I help push the product that does that and does so many other things, right? And so it's such a unique way that you've done that, and being able to watch you now for the last 4 years, over the last 2 years, we spend a lot of time talking and coming up with ideas, because we have a lot of events that we want to plan together, right? And 2 of those are just at the beginning of March, and then we have one in August, and I'm sure there's probably going to be 1 or 2. We have the Indy 500 as well, which you're going to be having an event at there as well.
Yes, working out the logistic parts and the contracting parts right now, but yeah, we are looking to move in a collaborative effort with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
It's just like you said, it's the world, the greatest racing spectacle on the planet.
Yes.
We've got right in our backyard. A lot of the cars, the Indy cars run off E85, and it's just, to me, it was a no-brainer. I would say my boss, Eddie Beard, would say the same. Our director of production, grain utilization.
Super great guy.
So we're fine. COVID put a kind of a crink in our efforts,
yes.
and got a couple years under the belt too. Now Roger Penske is the new owner. He came in at 2020. There's been some major updates that are just beautiful, and lifts for the show car and the winner of the race. Definitely got to get out there. If you haven't kissed the bricks yet, you definitely got to do that. But the month of May is going to be packed, and so we've got other events that we're going to squeeze in there in that busy month of May. And again, just to further create the awareness and the tie-ins to all the different facets that are creating that synergy to support Indiana corn and the Indiana corn farmers,
yes.
as well as ethanol and high-octane horsepower engines.
So kind of get towards the end of this and wrap up and make sure we don't go too long and get anybody bored. But I can't see how you would be bored when you get to sit up here and with her up here, right?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm always going to make you blush again.
I like to wear this is my like grandma sweater.
I know, and I put on my only favorite sweatshirt that I've been putting on over and over again. So
if you want to see me in my grid girl outfit, you'll have to see it at the Shift Sector race.
Yeah,
I've got a whole attire.
Yeah. Come to that again. I'll push Shift Sector. I haven't said it enough. Yeah, that is an event that is fun for all ages. It is in up close racing, the fastest cars that you can see on the planet. Right there in front of you, cars that go 250 miles an hour. So definitely come out and check in that.
Let's look at one more spot, because that last one didn't have a whole lot of actual footage.
Definitely. Please.
Jason, if you watch this, you better watch all of it, because you're getting a lot of props for this, buddy.
Oh, there I am.
Hello and welcome to the Indy Airstrip Attack, brought to you by the Indiana Corn Marketing Council and Unleaded 88. Their clean-burning, high-octane, 15% ethanol blend that is engine-smart, first-time.
If you want to be fast, you got to be running ethanol. That's the ticket. That's the secret. Everybody out here, all your fast cars, they're all running ethanol.
I've never been to an event like this before. This is once in a lifetime experience. Vehicles out here that's running on the unleaded 88 gas is unbelievable.
What are some of the times that you've flown? Because I see you guys yesterday and today.
But I mean, it's been 137 in the quarter, but it went like 155 yesterday. Well, it's a 5.7 Hemi with a compound turbo setup. It's got a full flex fuel capability, so I can do gasoline, E85, anything in between.
Ethanol is a very clean piece that goes into alcohol beverages and sanitizer. And now you learned today powering these cars with E85 flex fuel and also unleaded 88.
Flex fuel. That's how you're doing? We flex when we got the fuel? Yes.
Indiana Corn Marketing Council.
That's country.
Shift sector.
We had a lot of folks that are supportive. So,
supportive.
Yeah. Flex fuel, that guy, he's so flex.
He threw the flex on us. So to kind of wrap this up a little bit and get to the end of this, I'll say it. I say it all the time. All right. Thank you very much for all that you do. Thank you for supporting, Indy's Garage, eFlex Fuel. Thank you for being who you are, right? I mean, we got to go to dinner last night. We got to talk about a lot of fun stuff. You're always a joy to be around. You're super professional. You're hardworking, and you produce results. And I have to say, I thank you for that. That's something that everybody should aspire to be like. And I don't think I've ever seen you in a bad mood, which is also. And then I've seen you in a lot of high stress situations, and you just come through.
My motto, well, one, it's control your controllables. If it's uncontrollable,
yes,
you probably can't do much about it. Try to make the best of it. If it's about the people trying to control them, that's going to be difficult. So try to get the teams of folks that you're going to work well together with, which is huge. And then thank you to Indiana Corn Marketing Council.
Yes, thank you very much.
My wonderful board of directors that basically vote and allow the different programs that I'm able to do year after year, and then being open-minded for those new programs that I introduce that seem very crazy and out there, and then happy, like Shift Sector is one example where it rocked it out, and you always I try to assess the risk and the reward.
Yes.
And that was a really great reward. So thank you to you again, Mark Bayles, for having me on your awesome podcast.
Yes.
I hope I get to come visit again.
You will. Well, I mean, obviously we won't be here again, but we'll try to do this at some of the events, right, that we go to. Because I think it's a unique thing to get some people on and let them talk about why we're doing it, how we got here. Again, I'll say thank you to Indiana Corn Marketing Council. I'm super happy that you guys allow this to happen and keep supporting myself and what I believe in, which is the car. Hopefully we can keep building really cool stuff, right? I mean, that's the funnest part about this, and hopefully we can continue our relationship on into the future. I've told you before, I'm an ethanol believer, and I believe in the product that you push, which is corn. I like to be an Indiana guy, just like you're a good old Indiana girl. And on a hot summer night, what's the song by Tom Petty or I don't know? We talked about that.
I know what you're talking about.
So anyway, to wrap up, guys, again, the 2021 Performance Racing Industry Convention has been a great time, and without our partners at Indiana Corn Marketing Council, eFlex Fuel Systems, Indy's Garage would not be here. So use ethanol, folks. Learn more about it. If you want to see if you can work on your car, get in contact with me. But just try to make a choice on changing the future right now, and we're more than happy to help you. Right?
Absolutely.
All right. Anything you want to say? Anything you want to say before we get out? Shout out to Mr. Wags or anybody? Yeah. You got to say hi to him.
Wags.
Maybe your kids
out
or
there. My kids.
Your kids, the dog at home, right?
Georgie,
all at home.
No, thank you. Again, everybody have a great Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, happy holidays, and be safe and stay healthy.
Stay healthy and use more corn products.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark.
All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. High five it. There we go.
Hi, I'm Elaine Gillis.
And I'm Josh Miller. We're corn farmers here in central Indiana, and our corn is used for ethanol production.
Did you know that 45% of corn from Indiana farms goes to ethanol production?
Your checkoff dollars are being used to help drive ethanol demand, not only in Indiana, but beyond, as we work to get higher blends incorporated into fuel retail stations and exported overseas to countries like Brazil, Canada, and India.
Your farm is part of something bigger, and the importance of this market for your corn remains one of our top priorities. To learn more how corn checkoff programs are working to move the pile, visit incorn.org.